Hey everybody, and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life and your business, your health, fitness, mindset and body from where you are right now to being unstoppable. Today I want to ask you a question, and yes, I am in the car again today, mobile studio. Apologies, but I think the recording is coming out pretty clearly. I've been to see my daughter in hospital. Unfortunately, she's had to return to hospital again, and I've just come to another appointment which I'm going to talk to you about in a second. But I wanted to ask you, what is the price that you would pay for success? What's that price? What would you go through to achieve that success? And when would you say that, oh, no, that's okay, I'll just settle with where I am? With me, I'm not prepared to settle. I want to make sure that I can do absolutely everything within my power to achieve what is my definition of success. And a good example of that is when it does come to your health and wellness. You could apply this to a range of different areas of your life, but when it comes to my health and wellness and my body, I don't want to leave stones unturned. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to achieve success in what that means to me. Now, over the years, I've created a different definition of success for me, and as you get older, your definition of success may change as well. For me, this last 18 months, it's been about getting the best health, best energy, best focus, best pain-free body that I can for my age, aiming for the top 1% of health for my age. That is my criteria of success for my health and wellness. And have a super sexy, hot body that has a low body fat percentage. That's my criteria, right? Now you might laugh at that, that's fine. I don't come up with my definition of success to seek approval from others. It's about what drives me, what motivates, inspires, and aspires me to be a greater version of myself. That's what drives me. Now, I'm going to give you the scenario of what's happened with my knee. I've been going through some level of pain in my knee for the last 20 years or more. And it's not the type of pain that when you walk, you get the pain. It only arises when you perhaps, I'm going to say, you kneel down and put your socks on, okay? And when I get up from that kind of a lunge type position to stand back up, that's when I can get some shooting type pain up the sides of my knees. Now, in the moment of that movement, I would say, well, the surgeon asked me, and I said, look, it's probably about a 5 out of 10 in terms of pain, for just bang, as fast as you click your fingers, just like that, and then it fairly quickly disappears. Functionally, through the day, like I'm sitting here in the car driving right now, I'm in no pain with it. Most of the time, I'm in no pain. When it gets really, really cold and I'm not moving around much, when I go to stand up, like if I've been sitting down for an hour or a couple of hours or something, and I go to stand up, then yes, it takes a little bit of time to get the movement back in it properly and the pain to dissipate. It takes a little bit of time. But I can live with the pain. So I had an MRI a week ago, and today was to get the results. And I find it fascinating. The human body is amazing, and I think the technology, even though I think it needs to be improved, the technology that we've got, I had an MRI scan, and to go through and see, imagine that you've sliced your knee across horizontally, and so you're getting slices of images of your knee so that you can see what's going on. And it's fascinating to go through and see what's going on. And of course I look at it and all I see is black things, white things, and lines here and there. And normally what I think is, oh, that doesn't look good, is good. And the things that I think, oh, that looks good, is not good. And so he pointed out to me there's this band of tissue that he says it looks like has been built up over many, many years, and it's got folds in it. And every time you're moving, it just irritates the bone. And so that's why I'm getting that pain up there. So there's a couple of really cool things about this. One, this is why I went back to see this surgeon, because he's brilliant at what he does, and he can just look at an image and say, bang, that's what it is right there. That's not normal there. That's thicker than it should be. That's what's causing you the pain. And he said to me, look, there's a couple of alternatives here. He said, we can give you an injection, which is basically a cortisone steroid injection into the knee or beside the knee, so that you can, or beside the kneecap, I should say, and that could settle things down, and that could be it. He said, but it could also do nothing. And he said, what we could do is we could go in there with an arthroscope, we could scrape that out, clean it up, and thin out the tissue, and that'll fix it. But he said, look, the cortisone injection may just do it. And he said to me, so just, what's it like to live with? How bad is it? And I said to him, and just in the way that he was asking me the question, I knew that he was thinking that this isn't something you really need to do anything about necessarily. And I said to him, look, I've had it for over 20 years, and I could probably go the rest of my life and not worry about it. I'll have some pain in it. I don't feel that it's going to get so bad that it's going to prevent me from doing everything that I want. It's not going to prevent me from walking. But I said, I don't want to live my life like that. And I said, that's why I came to see you for my shoulders. I said, I want to do the things that I want to do absolutely pain-free. I want to really enjoy it. I don't want to have anything in my body hold me back. He kind of smiled and he said, okay, I understand. And so I said, what would you recommend? And he said, I think we'll try an injection first, because, it's the path of least resistance, isn't it? You wouldn't say, okay, let's chop you open first. If you can achieve something much simpler and cheaper and less invasive and less risk with an injection, then do it. And he said, if that doesn't work, we can, do the surgery. But he said, like all surgery, there's always a risk. He said there's risk of infection, there's an anaesthetic involved and all that kind of stuff. So, there's always risks. So we went ahead with the injection, and it stings. It stings. He really got into the spots. So he basically, imagine if you put the needle in, and then he did in a few different spots, and he hit the exact spot where it was the sorest. And he said, look, he's going to give me a call in a month's time to just see what sort of impact that has had. He said, look, just keep going about your business, doing exactly what it is that you were doing. So I got a leg workout in a couple of days' time, and it's heavy. And he said the cortisone, if it's doing its thing, it should help settle that down. So I did ask him about the surgery, and I said, what's the recovery time? He said, look, it's pretty good. He said, but you do have to do some exercises after the surgery to help to prevent the tissue from coming back like it did. He said the recovery time is actually pretty good. So having said all that, would you do what I've done? Or would you just say, no, look, I'll live with a little bit of pain in my knee? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Well, for me, it comes down to the standard that you set for yourself. And I'm not willing to compromise. I have worked so hard on my health and wellness. It's my biggest asset is me, okay? My mind, my body, it's my biggest asset. So I want to look after it. I want to nurture it. Going on to be 53 years old this year, and I want to make sure that I'm living my best life. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do and pain-free, not have those sorts of issues, which is when something arises with my body, I get it fixed. Now this one, I've let hang around for 20 years, and each person that I've been to see, they said, well, it's not really, I wouldn't bother having surgery or anything, but it's gotten to the stage where I thought, you know what, I'll put up with this for long enough. It's time to do something about it for good. So, look, I'm hoping that this little injection will fix it. But my feeling is that it won't. I'll need to go and have the surgery because I've just never really responded that well to cortisone. I had it in my shoulder, and it certainly worked to take away the pain, but as soon as I started doing the exercise again, it came back. I quickly realised that wasn't going to be a long-term solution, so I needed to have the surgery. And I think this will be the same. But that doesn't necessarily mean if you said, no, I wouldn't do that, that's the wrong thing. It's whatever's right for you, right? And I'm just telling you this story so that you can understand where I'm coming from, and maybe it pushes you to maybe raise your standard a little bit more about your own health and wellness, to take care of yourself a little bit more, maybe to push you in a slightly different direction so that you can make sure that you are living your best life. I'm not prepared to compromise, and I'm also prepared to keep on asking the questions, keep escalating if I'm not satisfied with the response that I'm getting. And I thought after this many years, I'm not satisfied with the responses I've had in the past. I only knew where to go this time because I've had 3 shoulder surgeries from my surgeon here, and they're both pain-free now. So I've built a lot of trust, and this is why, once again, I tell you to make sure that you've got a really strong team of allied health professionals around you, whether they be from your GP, which we call our general practitioner, our local doctor, whether it be physiotherapist, massage therapist, chiropractor, osteopath, myotherapist, nutritionist, dentist, optometrist, surgeons when you need them, sports doctor in my case as well. I've got a really, really good network around me to help me whenever I have issues and whenever I need to refer people as well. I've also got a dermatologist as well that's in my network too. So always looking to get more. So it's just really important. And it's moments when you, like the one that I've had here, where you need it, that you're really, really, grateful for it. And then that spreads to other areas of your life too. Like making sure you've got the right accountant, bookkeeper, lawyer, solicitor, whatever you want to call them, financial planner, banker, all of those types of people in your life as well. Coaches, the right sorts of coaches. In my case, excuse me, a bit of indigestion. In my case, it's business coaches, it's coaches for other parts of my business, it's also about my strength and conditioning coach as well. People that I really, really hold really highly in my life. And the other thing to recognize is the fact that investing in yourself is not a waste of money. And people might say, oh, well, to have that surgery done, that's a waste of money. And now I have no idea how much it's going to cost. It could cost me $3,000. But is it worth it if I can live a life that's pain-free and I'm happy and functional in the things that I'm doing? I would say that's a small price to pay. The other one that I've always hated, that I'm currently working on as we speak right now because I'm wearing them, is my teeth. And I'm wearing my Invisalign aligners to help fix my teeth. I'm about to go into week 5 next week. And how's this for service? So we've just gone into our 7-day lockdown here in Victoria again. And I'm on the road, and I can't believe how much traffic there is. You're only allowed to come out for 5 reasons, and I'm out for one of those today. One was to go across and see my daughter, so that's in a carer capacity, and the other one was for my own health, going to see my surgeon. But service, my dentist, I'm not allowed to go in and see her because it's not an emergency, but I need my next lot of aligners. She's dropped them, already done it, dropped them off in my letterbox herself, personally. Now, how did I get her to do that? Well, one, she is an old client of mine, friend, and she said she would do that. And I said, do I just wear these for the next week or so? And she said, no, I'll drop them off. So how's that? That only comes about by building great relationships. Now, how did that initially happen? Was we both met at a networking event. I connected with them, reached out to them to see if we could cross-refer business and so forth. How did I next get my foot in the door? I went to her as a dentist. and she did a good job, and so I kept her as my dentist. They then came on board as clients, and then we've maintained a friendship since then. So really cool. You just never know how things can evolve in your life. It's really cool to just have the right people in your life. So anyway, today I have said this is what I need to do for my body. I'm not prepared to compromise. I don't want you to compromise either. Keep pushing the boundary of what success looks like for your health and wellness and other areas of your life too. And don't compromise. Don't be prepared to just say listen to the first answer or accept that you need to have pain in your life, because you don't. Life's too short for that. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. COVID is everywhere. I'll see you tomorrow.